Magandang gabi po sa lahat ng mga viewers natin from the Philippines. Good evening to all our viewers. Ako po ay si Gani Celzo. If you're new to this webinar, this is Gani Celzo and I'd like to say thank you for joining us tonight. This is our 10th webinar for our cause na po. And for 20 years, it has been my mission to be an advocate of education and the disadvantaged kids. Last year, we launched 3 projects, and I'd like to again thank all our avid supporters for these 3 causes. Our first project is Lapis Ang Panara, and let's watch this. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng supporters ng Lapis Ang Pangarap campaign na inumpisahan namin last month. As of today, nakapagbigay na po tayo ng lapis at school supplies sa 23 schools, serving 6,571 students in Anda, Pangasinan. Bakit po lapis ng pangarap? A boy used to stay after school searching for any pencils left under the chairs that he can still use. That boy is now teaching for 20 years, advocating for the most vulnerable kids, sharing pencils and school supplies through Lapis ng Pangarap campaign, sharing my life experiences in conquering poverty and insurmountable obstacles, give hope and inspiration to students to reach for their dreams. There are still thousands of kids needing our support, especially in remote areas in the Philippines. So last year, I launched Inspiring Minds, Transforming Lives project. Again, thank you to all the supporters of this project, Inspiring Minds, Transforming Lives. We Are in This Together is another fundraising campaign I initiated to unite the community of 18 barangays in Anda, Philippines, and supporters around the world to help in the construction of additional classrooms and creation of computer lab. With your support, we have raised a total of 473,000 pesos. Again, thank you to all our supporters from the Philippines, Singapore, US, and our OFWs from around the world. Last week, July 12th, we also launched the Back to School 2020 Video Implementation Contest as our appreciation to all public and private schools, along with teachers, students, and the community. So here are the mechanics to join the video making contest. We also extended the submission of entry to August 22, 2020. You need to submit a 3 to 5 minute video documentation of your classroom or back to school 2020 implementation. And all video entries must include your school name, location, and contact information. For the judging criteria, 60% is based on social media votation, and 40% is based on the judges' scores, 20% creativity and innovation, and 20% diverse volunteer participation, also 20%. So first prize will be 15,000, second prize 10,000, and the third prize is 5,000. So again, it is extended and you may submit your entry on or before August 22, 2020. So for more information, please visit Celzo Academy FB page. If you'd like to support our causes and projects, please reach out to me through celsoacademy@gmail.com, or you can message me at Gani Celso on FB Messenger. So again, I want to say thank you to all our supporters in these 3 projects, and our project for this July and August is Back to School to support our public and private school teachers, community, and the students. Also at this time, I'd like to plea on you guys to support Celzo Academy by liking and following Celzo Academy FB page. The certificates are always posted on Celzo Academy FB page, so make sure you like and follow our page. If you are new to this YouTube channel, Celzo Academy, I also encourage you to subscribe and click the bell button so you get the latest videos for our Celzo Academy YouTube page. And also to support our teachers in the Philippines and students, also professionals and future professionals, we launched 2 FB groups, so feel free to join these 2 groups. One is the Celzo Academy Review Group to help our 12th grade students as they prepare for the college entrance tests, for the civil service exams, and also for the licensure examination for teachers, and preparation for all math levels, especially from basic math to calculus. In August also, I will be sharing more information about the videos and worksheets available from basic math to calculus, so you could use them in your specific classrooms if you're a teacher. Also, if you're a parent, you can share these resources to your students as they prepare for their math classes and college entrance test. And we also launched the Global Educators Group. This is an academic platform that focuses on teacher collaboration, sharing instructional resources, and best practices, because we are transitioning to blended learning. So we are learning from each other, and sharing is caring, right? So join these two groups, especially Global Educators Group, so you could get some latest innovations, resources that you can use in your classrooms. For today's learning targets, the first one, we will learn some engagement strategies that you can use in your virtual learning and also during regular classroom setting. And the main focus for tonight is solving math problems. So whether you're a math person or not, I hope that you participate in our math review for tonight that will be covering pre-algebra, algebra, geometry, and we also have some questions on trigonometry. So you may need to use your scientific calculators later. All right, so to start with, I'd like you to participate in this Think Right Round Robin activity. The question is, if you're a teacher, whether you're a teacher in public school or private school from K to 12, please respond to this question. I'll give you about 1 minute to think and then share your responses in the comment section. How do you engage your students during virtual or blended learning? I hope that we can also see some responses from other subjects like math, science, English, social studies. Okay, you have 1 minute to think about this question. Share your responses in the comment section, and I'm going to be doing some shout outs right now. Begin. At this time, I'd like to give a shout out to Cybel Karen from Surigao del Norte, Placer District 1, Antoinette Antang, Amorfina Bawalan, Marilyn Espina, Ana Lizelle Rivera from Laguna, Cherry from Cagayan, Ariel from Argao, Cebu. Thank you for watching. Eleanor from Cebu City Division. Hello to Ramon Duterte Memorial National High School. Thank you for watching. Rebecca from Surigao del Norte. Leia from Dagupan City, Pangasinan. Beverly from Tagbiliran City, Bohol. Anna May from Bohol. Teacher Flor Sedeno. Thank you for watching. Kiana from Southern Lady. Juanita Darunday from Cavite. Thank you for watching. Mary Ann from Surigao. Hello to Libuac National High School. Rainiel from Hinatuan, Surigao. Don La Vega from Sultan Kudarat from Mindanao. Ang layo ninyo. Antoinette from Antipolo City. Thank you for watching. Narlisa, good evening. Janet Katipon from Pampanga. Bernardina Infante. Juliet from Cavite. Christy Reunier. Elizabeth Acampado. Sherry Lopez. Thank you for watching. Emma Apostol. Cherry from Pampanga. And I'm going to give more shout outs later. I hope that you guys could share some activities or plans that you use to engage your students in the classroom. And I'm going to be sharing some of your responses as well. So I'm seeing some responses right now. Before I share those responses on your screen, thank you for watching. Charm, Janet, Raquel, Lenny from Manila, Raquel from Bataan, Rosh from Caloocan. Good evening, and thank you for watching, everyone. So this is a comment from Mary Ann Hinatuan. Based on our geographical location, which the internet is not stable, we use modular learning to engage the students. From Juanita Darunday, showing some videos of different activities. I agree with you, Juanita. It's really a powerful tool to incorporate some videos in your virtual learning, especially when you're doing science, social studies, or math. Those are great tools when transitioning to virtual learning. From Eleanor Batukan, I will give interactive modules using Microsoft PowerPoint. Yes, I also encourage you to explore, I think I mentioned in the previous webinars, to use Khan Academy to post your PowerPoint. That way, students can easily access those resources. In your PowerPoint, you can also include videos, PDF worksheets, or any resources that's easily accessible to the kids. So yes, PowerPoint is a powerful tool transitioning to virtual learning. From Jackie Lu Hora, majority of our parents, it's modular learning. I know from June, July, and even right now, you are still doing some survey, and some schools are, or most schools are actually doing the modular learning. So that's one way to engage your students, and also parents can access those as well. From Anna Lizelle, use Khan Academy and Zoom app in the learning process for both virtual or blended learning. Yes, I agree with you, Anna. I have been using Khan Academy and Zoom for the past few years, and Zoom for the last 3 months when we transitioned to virtual learning. So Khan Academy is a free resource, not just for math, but all subjects: English, social studies, foreign language, and all other subjects. And I use the Zoom app to use, I use Zoom for the synchronous learning. Another comment from Christy shows some clippings through PowerPoint, and Christy's from Aliputos Elementary School from Aklan, Philippines. Thank you to all viewers from our from Aliputos Elementary School. All right, and I will be sharing now some of the engagement activities that I usually use in my class, especially when we transition to virtual learning last March to June here in Singapore. So I've read some of the comments regarding modular approach, using PowerPoints, things like that. So the first thing that's really important is to make sure you have a plan on sharing your instructional materials or resources, whether it is whether it's modules or printed materials. Make sure that the students and parents are aware what kind of resources you will be sharing. In March, we use modules as well for one of our classes. And also we've been using Google Classroom here at our school. So it's easy for us to transition to virtual learning. So again, it's really important that these materials are accessible to all of your students, including parents. That way you can elicit engagement. So also, those who are doing the virtual learning, I know in the Philippines, you guys are starting in August 24th, I think. So try to consider using Google Classroom. Other schools are also using Schoology as a learning management system, or the LMS, to share the resources to the students and parents. And if you're doing virtual learning through Zoom, you also have the screen share power for the teachers. So as you can see right now, I am sharing the PowerPoint. You can replicate this when you're doing virtual learning. So you can screen share your laptop screen to your students as you go over the lesson. So again, make sure that you share your instructional materials, whether it is offline materials, including modules, printed materials, or class textbook. I know some schools are also using PDF or Word document. That's why they're requiring their students to have the flash drive. That's one way to share the resources as well. But if you have a strong connection with internet and students have access to different gadgets like laptops or iPads, then I highly encourage that you use Google Classroom, Schoology, and also use Zoom to conduct your classes. Also, it's really important to have norms for chat and video conferencing. In fact, I would suggest that the entire school come up with the norms for chat and video conferencing. That way there is consistency when students attend one class to the next class. So these are just some of the norms that I've been using for my virtual learning. Official class chats for academic talks only. The students have to be prepared with their laptops, headphones, microphones, and materials ready to go. Also really important, we require students to dress appropriately, and it has to be school appropriate. So that way it's more like a classroom setting still, even if they are at home. Also, just like when you're entering Zoom webinars, students have to mute their microphone before joining the virtual learning class. They also have to raise their hands or comment in the chat room if they want to speak. Also, as a teacher, you have the superpower to mute all your students. So using Zoom or Google Meets, you have that teacher superpower to control the classes. Do not share your screen unless asked. No funny business. Stay on topic. So these are just sample norms that I use when we did the blended learning or the video conferencing class from March to June here in Singapore. Again, just like Rob mentioned, it's really important that the students dress appropriately. So as a school, make sure you come up with the dress code, whether they're doing the virtual learning or blended learning. And transitioning to virtual learning, these are just some tips for the students. Again, it's really great to have a uniform expectation for all classes. That way, students can easily follow the rules and comply with expectations. When doing virtual learning, I also incorporate cooperative learning activities, and that is possible because of breakout room sessions. So also make sure you have your expectations doing breakout rooms. This is one way: video on, mic on, of course, brain on. This is the second breakout room expectations that I use also for the last few months. It can be video off, mic on, or brain on. And in the Philippines, I know it's really difficult to conduct a virtual learning, but I really hope that once in a while, you could also use the synchronous learning. If it's possible, try to go online together. It's really difficult to provide the instruction just by sending out modules to the students. But of course, with limitations, right? Because we know in the Philippines, a lot of parents don't have the gadgets to participate in the virtual learning. So here in Singapore, I do virtual learning on a daily basis. And the goal is always to make sure that the virtual learning experience is very similar to the regular classroom setting. So I always project the slideshow. That way the students can see what I'm referring to. I can also annotate, especially in mathematics. It's really important that you show the step-by-step solution to the problem. And that is made possible by using Notability. So I use Notability to annotate in my PDF worksheets or PowerPoint, you can annotate that using the Notability app. For humanities class, whether you're teaching social studies, English, or science, I really encourage you also to find a way to involve your students by sharing your slides to them ahead of time, and also always have them to participate in the class discussions, whether it's virtual learning or regular classroom setting. You will also have a chance to, just like on the screen, this is a question number 2 problem on trigonometry. So when teaching math questions like this, it's really important that as a STEM teacher, as a math teacher, I need to explain the step-by-step solution to the problem. So again, using Notability and in addition to the Zoom, this allowed me to do some explicit instruction to the students. Our math class here in Singapore is 55 minutes, and I try to divide it as much as possible into 4 things. First 10 minutes is the check-in and do now activities. The next 20 minutes is always class discussion, classwork, introduction of the lesson. And then I also give them 20 minutes to work independently, work with a partner, or work with their groups using the breakout sessions. And the last 5 minutes is always closing and synthesis of the lesson. How do we manage student input and output? Because we really want the students to be engaged, but also as a teacher, we have to be very clear to them about the expectations regarding homework. So what's your expectation with participation as well? So for me, they always have to submit their homework on Google Classroom a day before the next class. So it's easy for me to check who submitted the homework online through Google Classroom. They have to do the screenshot of their work and then submit it on Google Classroom. And also for the participation, I always use the breakout rooms to encourage the students to work with a partner, work with teams using the CL structures or cooperative learning structures. Again, the expectation is they have to work together as a partner or as a group, and then they have to submit their work online using the Google Classroom. In mathematics, also, it's really important that students also have the time to practice the math skills independently. So they have a chance to work collaboratively as a whole class, work with their group, and also work independently to make sure that the students can practice the math skills that they learned. And in the previous webinars, I've mentioned and we've discussed some engagement strategies that I usually use in my classes, whether it's virtual learning or traditional classroom setting. So these are the 4 cooperative learning structures that I explained in our last webinar. Think, write, round robin, timed pair share, rally coach, and whole class collaboration. So these are excellent engagement tools that allows always about 50% or higher participation rate every time you introduce a cooperative learning structure in your class. Also, I think one really important is providing that wait time for the students. When you ask a question, make sure that you give them time to think first, write their answers as much as possible before you engage them with the sharing and the discussion. And the other 4 teach like a champion techniques that we use in the last webinars also. Make sure you have the routine. For me, I always use the do now activities for about 5 minutes. Cold calling is also really important to make sure that the students are engaged in your class. The hook is very similar to the motivation activities that we usually do in the Philippines. So again, those are the 4 cooperative learning structures that you can use, and also the 4 teach like a champion techniques that you can use in your classes. All right, so before we begin with the multiple choice math problems, I'm gonna give a few shout outs at this time. Thank you to all our viewers. Thank you for watching. Andy from Pampanga, Mark Joseph, Lechar Naguliam from Aklan, Cherry from Cagayan Valley, Eleanor, thank you for watching and your comment as well. I'm gonna post your comments right now on the screen. She said, I hope you can also share to us how to make learning plan or lesson plan, the format for the virtual teaching and learning and or blended learning. I'll try to create a webinar for that, Ma'am Leonor. Or I can also share the templates at Celzo Academy FB page and the Global Educators if you don't have the webinar for that. And hello to Melody from Quezon Province. Maria, thank you for watching. Julius from Maasin City, Southern Leyte. Melds from Zamboanga del Norte. June from Isabel. Mary Ann from Iloilo. Donna, good evening to you. Antoinette, thank you for watching. By the way, all the certificates are posted at Celzo Academy FB page if you followed all the instructions. Again, all certificates are available at Celzo Academy FB page. All right, so are you ready for the math questions? I prepared 30 questions for this review, and I hope that you guys participate by typing your answers in the comment section as well. Before I begin, I want to say thank you also for watching. Feline from Doha, Mark Joseph from Rizal Province, Jessica from Butuan, Anna Marie from Angeles City, Filipinas from Angeles City as well. Thank you for watching. All right, are you guys ready? Here's our first math question. A scuba diver descends 80 feet, rises 25 feet, descends 12 feet, and then rises 52 feet, where he will do a safety stop for 5 minutes before surfacing. At what depth did he do his safety stop? Give it a try and type your answers in the comment section. While you're answering that, I'm gonna give more shout outs. Hello to Rachel from Zamboanga del Norte, Eleanor Batucan. Yes, please share this to your students. Please do so. I hope that we can reach out to more schools and teachers and students. So please share these resources to your students. All right, I'm seeing some answers right now. So please type your answers in the comment section. Hello, Anna Marie from Angeles City. Robert from SDO, Pagadian City. All right. Okay, let's reveal the answer to this question. So for this problem, make sure that you know those terminologies. The word descend means negative. If it rises, that means it is positive. So that's why we have negative 80, positive 25, negative 12, and positive 52. Okay, so again, descend means negative, rises means positive. So the next step that you can do is you can add both negatives and then you add both positives as well. So negative 80 plus negative 12 is negative 92. And 25 plus 52 is 77. So when you add negative 92 and positive 77, the answer should be negative 15. All right, let's see who got the first person who got the right answer, letter A. I think the first person who got it right is Maria. So based on my screen, the first person who got it right is Maria Souza. So the answer is negative 15. Okay, congratulations, Maria. And we also have a lot of people who got it right. Be careful again, descend means negative and rise means positive. Okay, keep trying. Here's our question number 2. Evaluate the algebraic expression y times the quantity x over 2 minus 3 close quantity minus 4a when a is equal to 3, x equals 6, and y is equal to 1/2. Okay, give it a try. One tip that I can give you to this question number 2 is you simply substitute the values of a, x, and y into the expression and simplify it using the correct order of operations. Please begin. When you're ready, type your answers in the comment section. All right, I'm starting to see answers. If you're a math teacher, it should be easy for you. If not, please keep on trying. All right, I'm seeing a lot of right answers for question number 2. Based on my screen, the first person again who got this correct answer is Maria. And then second is Julius. And third is Ariel Dibdib. The correct answer to this question is letter D. So just like Rob said, the first thing that we need to do is substitute the values of a, x, and y. Next step, we need to simplify the grouping symbol first. So we need to simplify the parentheses. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. And then we need to simplify the 0 minus 12, which is negative 12. So when you multiply 1/2 times negative 12, of course, half of 12 is 6. So positive times negative is negative. So the answer to this question is negative 6. Okay, most of you got the correct answer for question number 2. Thank you for participating. Here's our question number 3. Thank you for your comment, Eleanor. I enjoyed this a lot. Thank you for your positive comment. When you're ready, please type your answers in the comment section. Fifteen more seconds. All right. I think the first person who got it right based on my screen is, we have a lot of right answers. Okay, the first person who got it right is Again, Maria Zosa, the answer is letter D, followed by Julius, Ariel, Dib. So the answer is x plus y plus 2. The best strategy that you can use to answer this question is choose a value of x that's even integer and y that is an odd integer. So if x is even, if you multiply it by 2, it's still going to be even, right? Like, for example, 8. If you multiply by 2, it's still going to be even. So same thing with the y. If y is an odd number, like 3, if you multiply it by 3, it becomes if you multiply 3 by 2, it becomes an even number as well. So for this problem, you can eliminate A and B right away because that will be still even number. Also, even plus odd is, of course, odd number. If you add 1 to it, it becomes now an even number, right? So, but if you have odd number plus even, for example, 3 plus 5, that's 8. If you add 2, that becomes now an even number. Question number 4. 35% of 15% of x is equivalent to which of the following? Give it a try and type your answers in the comment section below. Thank you for your positive comment, Cybel Karen Maisog. It's interesting and enjoyable, sir, to solve. All right, 15 seconds, and then type your answers in the comment section. For this question number 4, just to give you some tips, make sure you know how to change percent to decimal. 35%, meaning 35 out of 100. So that is why in decimal, that's 0.35 or 0.35. And 15% is 0.15. Okay, so let's see who got it right for question number 4. The first person who got it right is Maria Souza, letter A, followed by Zaya Alindoy and Ariel Dib. The answer is letter A. So again, just like Rob said, 35% is 0.35. So you're simply multiplying 0.35 by 0.15. So when you multiply 0.35 by 0.15, that will give you 0.0525. Okay. Question number 5. A farmer has a rectangular field that measures 125 feet by 200 feet. He wants to enclose the field with a fence. What's the total length in feet he will need for the job? Give it a try. Whether you're a math teacher or not, please give it a try. Thank you. Yes, Robert, thank you for participating. I know your comment says, I'm not a math teacher, but I'll try my very best. Yes, keep it up. Keep trying. All right, I'm seeing a lot of answers for question number 5. And here are the first 3 people who got the correct answer for question number 5, again, based on my screen. So consistently, Maria Zosa, the correct answer is letter C. Second place, Eds Mercado. And third is Ariel Dib. Okay, followed by Zaya and Gregoria, 4th and 5th. Okay, so for this question, we have a rectangular field, and this means that we need to find the perimeter. So basically, you need to add 125 plus 125 plus 200 plus 200. Or you can also do 125 times 2 plus 200 times 2. So that is why the answer is 650 feet. Okay, that's how you solve for the perimeter. Just simply add the sides of the shape or the polygon. Okay, here's our question number 6. A farmer is raising a hog that weighed 20 pounds when he bought it. He expects it to gain 12 pounds per month. He will sell it when it weighs 200 pounds. How many months will it be before he will sell the animal? Give it a try. Again, thank you so much for participating. I want to give shout out to Julius, Maria, Laila de la Cruz, Teacher Flor Cedino, Don La Vega, Eds Mercado, Robert, Melody, and Elita. Thank you for watching. Thank you again for your positive comment, Don La Vega. I really enjoyed this webinar. Thank you, sir, for this opportunity. All right, keep typing your answers for question number 6. All right, again, question number 6, the first person who got it right is Maria Souza. I hope I say your answer correctly. Zaya Alindoy, you also got it right. Ariel Dibdib, 3rd place. 4th is Eds, and 5th is Enelita. Congratulations. And again, thank you for participating. So to answer question number 6, we need to set up the equation. The equation for this is 12x plus 20 equals 200. Because to start with, we have 20 pounds. And then every month, it's gaining 12 pounds. So 12 for every month. That's why we have here 12x. So 12x because 12 pounds every month. And it started with 20 pounds. And we need to have equal to 200. So to solve these two-step equations, we now subtract 20 to both sides. When you subtract 20 to both sides, that becomes now 12x is equal to 180. And of course, after this, the inverse operation is dividing both sides by 12. So when we divide both sides by 12, the answer is equal to 15. Okay? So again, make sure you know how to set up the equation. And then after that, you need to use the inverse operations to solve the equation. All right, so congratulations if you got it right. If not, please keep on trying, okay? Here's question number 7. Eleanor Batukan said, I really love algebra. Thank you. Hi, Antoinette. The certificates are available at Celzo Academy FB page. Lilybeth, thank you for watching. Good evening. Emma Apostol, thank you for your comment. Wow, it's enjoyable, although I'm not a math teacher. Thank you for participating, Emma, even if you're not a math teacher. Suzette Gitala, thanks for sharpening my mind. Watching here from Cebu City. Thank you. Hi to all watchers, viewers from Cebu City. 15 seconds. Please start typing your answers in the comment section. All right, for question number 7. Question number 7, based on my screen comments, the first person who got it right is Laila de la Cruz, letter C, followed by Maria Zosa. Third place, we have Zaya Alindoy. Fourth, Julius Garson. And Ed's Mercado. So the answer to this question is letter C. Again, we need to set up the equation. Based on this, we have the equation is 25 more girls than 2/3 the number of boys. So the equation will be 2/3 x plus 25 is equal to 105. Okay, again, it's 25 more, so that's why we have plus 25. And it says 2/3 the number of boys. So x here is the number of boys. So we have 2/3 x plus 25 is equal to 105. So now we need to do the inverse operation. The first thing that we need to do is subtract 25 to both sides. And if you subtract 25 to both sides, that becomes now 2/3 x is equal to 80. Now, what's the inverse of multiplying by 2/3? You can divide by 2/3, or the same thing as multiplying both sides by 3/2. Because when you multiply reciprocals, like 2/3 and 3/2, that is equal to 1. So that's the reason why we're multiplying by reciprocal, to get an answer of 1. So when you multiply 3/2 times 80, the shortcut for that is you can do 80 divided by 2, which is 40. And then you simply multiply by the 3, which is the numerator. So the answer is 120 for question number 7. All right, are you ready? Before we continue with question number 8, I will be sharing you now the attendance verification code. Please take note of this verification code for you to get your e-certificates. The code for tonight's webinar, every webinar has a different verification code. It's CL722. It's case sensitive when you submit your attendance verification, so make sure you take note of that. Again, the code is CL722. That is our attendance verification code for tonight's webinar. All right, let's continue with our next question. Question number 8 through 13 are about geometry. How many lines can be drawn through point A that are parallel to line M? I think this is an easy question if you know your geometry. Thank you for your positive comments, Marian. Yes, Lila, congratulations. Percy, Julius, this activity really challenged speed. This is very relevant to learners. Thanks, sir. So thank you for your positive comments. All right, so start typing your answers in the comment section for question number 8. Question number 8. Maria is back. Maria got it right first, followed by Zaya Alindoy, Julius Garzon, Eleanor Batucan, and then Donna Lomboy. Those are the top 5 viewers for this question number 8. So we have here line A. And for line A, there's only one line that is parallel to line. How many lines can be drawn through A that are parallel to line M? Okay, so only one line can pass through a point and it is parallel to the line M, okay, from a given point. So there's only one. Question number 9. How many lines can be drawn through point A that are perpendicular to line L? All right. Since these are, I think, easy questions, these don't require calculations. We will reveal the first person who got it right. The first person who got question number 9 right is, I think, Janet. Janet Katipon got it right. I hope I got it right. The answer is letter B. Marianne Tapiro Charms also got letter B. So most of you got it right. So again, from a given point, you can only draw one line that is parallel to the other line. And also you can only draw one line that is perpendicular to that same line. Okay, there's only one. You can draw infinite points through a given point, but you can only draw one line parallel to a given line and one line passing through the point perpendicular to that line as well. So 8 and 9 are both letter B. Here's our question number 10. Which lines are perpendicular? Which lines are perpendicular? Thank you for your comment, Zaya Alindoy. This is so enjoyable, according to Zaya Alindoy. All right, question number 10. Which lines are perpendicular? Okay, the first person who got it right is Leia Sagun, followed by Maria Zosa, Ariel Dibdib, Julius Garson, and then Berinia Juanara May. So when we say perpendicular lines, these are lines that intersect and they form 90-degree angle. So in this figure, the two lines that form a square or 90-degree angle is lines M and line N. So this square that you can see here, where the lines M and N intersect, the square means 90 degrees. So lines M and N are perpendicular. Okay, so again, parallel lines means two lines that are not intersecting. Perpendicular means they intersect and they form 90-degree angle as well. All right, here's our question 11. How many points do line M and line L share? How many points do line M and L share? Okay, start typing your answers for question 11. Thank you for your comment, Berinia Wanara. This is very entertaining yet challenging. All right, question 11. The first person who got it right is, you're back, Maria De Souza. The correct answer is letter B, followed by May Delgado, Jackie Lohora, Marian Tapiro, and Ariel Dibdib. Okay, so in this problem, lines M and L share how many points? M and L only intersect at one point right here. So there's only one point of intersection. Okay. Here's question number 12. Point A is blank. Between lines L and N, on lines L and N, and so on. All right, please type your answers. For question 12, based on my screen, I think the first person who got it right is Jaquilu Hora, Janet Katipon, Imelda Castro, Maria Tapiro, and Leia Sagun. The answer is letter B. Point A is on lines L and N. So that's where the two lines intersect. So lines L and N intersect at point A. Okay? So again, thank you for participating. Question number 13. Which set of lines are transversals? So I hope that you can still recall what a transversal means. All right, please start typing your answers to question number 13. All right. I'm still not seeing. Let's see. Looks like you forgot what a transversal is. All right. I think we have only two who got it right. Marian Tapiro and Leia Sagun and Marian Tapiro. The answer is letter D. When we say transversals, this is a line crossing or intersecting two other lines. So L is a transversal of lines N and O. M is a transversal of N and O as well. And N is a transversal of M and L. It doesn't have to be parallel. Okay, so 13 is letter D. Question number 14. While you're doing question number 14, I'm going to give shout outs to our viewers and people who are participating for our math review. Lila, thank you for watching. Lila de la Cruz, Antoinette, Imelda Castro, Alma Dironia, Jackie Lu Ora, Lenelyn Escalona, Antoinette Lactawan, Marian Tapiro, May Delgado, Leia Sagun, Roland Duque, Nerlisa Cabusas, Charms Frago, Ricky Colima, Estelito Harabo. Thank you for watching. All right, let's have question number 14. We're talking about perimeter. Question 14, please start typing your answers. For question 14, the correct answer is letter A. Congratulations, Maria, Leia Sagun, Ariel Dibdib. Those are the top three who got the right answer. So in this figure, if you're going to reflect across BC, it will be helpful if you draw the reflection of this triangle ABC. So when you reflect this, you will have that shape. And basically, you need to add A, B, and B. So the same thing as 2A plus 2B. And that is similar to question number 14, choice letter A when you do distributive property. Okay, so number 14 is letter A. Question number 15, it's going to be a percent question. Give it a try. %60 of a number is 12. What is 165% of that same number? "15 seconds. Please start typing your answers to this question number 15. Here we go. The first person who got it right is Lila de la Cruz. The answer is letter D, followed by Maria Souza, Julius Garzon. Those are the top three people who got it right. So when we say 60% of a number, of course, 60% is 0.6 or 0.60, and 165% in decimal is 1.65. So to solve this problem, you need to set up first, what is that number x multiplied by 0.6 that is equal to 12. So one way to do this is you can make it, we can multiply both sides by 10. So you have 6x is equal to 120, or you can simply divide both sides by 0.6. So in this problem, your x is equal to 20. And then we need to get 165% of this 20. So this means you need to multiply 20 by 1.65. And when you multiply 20 and 1.65, the answer is 33. Okay, so make sure you know how to change percent to decimal. Question number 16. Thank you for your positive comment, Lila de la Cruz. I love your webinar. From Jomar Mandani, salamat Sargani, best talaga. From Antoinette Antang, this is refreshing my mind. Thank you, sir. All right, so please try this question and start typing your answers in the comment section. So here we're talking about trapezoids. Make sure you remember formulas for the area of a trapezoid. From Marianne Porras, this is the most exciting and enjoyable webinar I've ever attended. Love it. Thank you, Marianne Porras. All right, the correct answer to question number 16 is letter C. And the first person who got it right is, it's JMNE. That's the name of the account. Second is Jomar Mandani and Enelita Villanueva. So you got it right. Those are the top three. So for this question, make sure you write down this formula if you're taking the test soon. The formula for the area of a trapezoid is 1/2 times the height times the sum of the base 1 and base 2. Again, the formula for the area of a trapezoid is 1/2 times the height times the sum of base 1 and base 2. So in this problem, the area is 7,200 square feet. Base 1 and base 2 are 40 and 80 feet. Base 1 and base 2 can be interchanged. So the first step is to substitute those values into our equation. And then we can simplify the right side. 40 plus 80 is 120. 120 times half. What is half of 120? 60, right? So you can make it now 7,200. is equal to 60 times h. And then doing the inverse operation, what do you do next? We're going to divide both sides by that coefficient 60. So when you divide both sides by 60, that gives you now 120. Because of course 72 divided by 6 is 12, and the 0 cancel out one of them. So the height here is 120 feet. So question 16 is letter C. Question number 17, here we go. Another formula here for the volume of a cylinder. I'll give you a hint. If you're not a math teacher, the formula for the volume of a cylinder is V is equal to pi r squared times h. Thank you for your comment, Eds. You shake our sleepy minds, Sargani. We do our very best to solve it right. Thank you so much. From Rainiel Iana, this webinar is so helpful for let takers. Thank you so much, Sargani. From Antoinette, exciting and helpful webinar. Arcelina Labalan, learning from Cebu City. Thank you, Sargani. All right, thank you for joining us and keep trying, you guys. From Imelda Castro, love solving problems. All right, I hope that you can figure out the answer for question number 17 involving the volume of a cylinder. Ten more seconds, and then we're going to reveal the correct answer. All right, the correct answer to this question is letter D. And again, for a few times, Maria de Sosa got it right first, followed by Julius Garzon, Melody Estrada, Antoinette Antang, and Donna Lumboy. Those are the top 5 who got it right. So the answer is letter D, 30 feet. In solving for the volume of a cylinder, make sure, again, you memorize this formula for the volume. It's pi r squared times the height. So in this problem, the volume is 13,565 cubic feet. Radius is 12. Height is missing. That's what we're trying to solve. And pi is 3.14, or you can also use 22/7. So just plug in the values into your volume formula for the cylinder. And now we will simplify 12 square. 12 square means 12 times 12, so that's 144. And then we multiply by 3.14. That gives us 452.16. And the last step is to divide both sides by 452.16. So the height is 30 feet. 17, the answer is letter D. Okay, so again, thank you for participating and keep trying. I know most of you are not math teachers, but you're still here joining our math review session. Here's our question number 18. Good evening to Helen Osano from Iloilo. Hello to all teachers and students watching from Rufino Palabrica National High School from Iloilo. Thank you for your comments, Julius. It's very comprehensive. This develops critical thinking and critical thinking skills of learners. Yeah, I try to incorporate different questions from basic math to trigonometry. That way, our our viewers can participate, and we can differentiate the difficulty level as well. From Cherie Lopez, refreshing Sergani, thank you so much. So the question here is about cylinder again, and we're talking about surface area for question number 18. So give it a try. Question 18 is not easy, so thank you for participating and thank you for trying. All right, let's see. The first person who got it right is Jomar Mandani, followed by Amorfina Bawalan, Rainiel Iana, Melody Strada, and Enelita Villanueva. So the answer to this question is letter B, 10 feet for the radius, and height is 30 feet. So we're talking about surface area of a cylinder. So the surface area of a cylinder is the same thing as 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi rh. Again, 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi rh. So we can substitute the values for the radius and the height, and that will give us 2,512 is equal to 25.12 x squared. And then we will divide both sides by 25.12. That will give us 100 is equal to x squared. And finally, we need to get the square root of both sides. So when you get the square root of both sides, the value of x is 10, which is the radius. So if the radius is 10, we multiply it by 3, we can determine the height, and the height is 30 feet. Okay, so the answer to this question is letter B, radius is 10 feet, and the height is 30 feet. Question number 19. We're back to algebra, solving this inequality. Thank you for a comment, Marian Tapiro. Looking forward for more webinars like this, Sergani. From Andrea Puno, thank you so much, Sergani. Mabuhay ka. Thank you for your positive feedback, you guys. And thank you for always joining our webinars, especially math sessions like this. From Venus Ditan, I'm not a math lover. I'm not a math lover, but I'm trying to learn and solve. Thanks for this webinar, Sergani. All right, question number 19. What do you think is the answer for question number 19? Okay, I think we have the first person who got it right is Donna Lomboy, letter C, Juliet Ambat, Maria Zoza, and Marian Tapiro, and Ariel Dibdib. So to solve this problem, first thing that we need to do is to isolate the variable on one side and the constant to the other side. So the best way to do this is we can add 5 first to both sides of the inequality. So if you add 5 to both sides, that negative 5 will cancel out, and this becomes now negative 2 plus 5, that is 3. Now, we need to isolate the variable x on the left. So we need to subtract 1x to both sides. So when you subtract 1x to both sides, that is the same thing as 4/3 minus 1. So 4/3 minus 1 is, of course, 1/3. Okay? Now, What is the reciprocal of 1/3? 3/1, right? So we need to multiply now both sides by 3/1 or by 3. So the answer is x is greater than 9. Okay, so make sure you're using the inverse operations both for solving equations and solving inequalities. All right, most of you got it right. The answer is letter C. Here's our question number 20. Geometry. From Marianne Alva. I hate math, but I'm starting loving it. Thank you. All right. Which of the following angle measurements would not describe an interior angle of a right angle? So if you're taking a college entrance test, CSE, or LET exam, make sure you take note of those words like not describe. So it's a negative statement, right? So for that to be a right angle, which of the following angle measurements would not describe an angle? All right, let's see. The first person who got it right is, I think it's Leia Sagun, followed by Maria de Souza, Ariel Dibdib, Roche San Diego, and Julius Garzon. So again, when we say a right, for that to be interior angle, it should be interior angle of a right triangle. That means that the angle should be 90 degrees and all acute angles. So there is no obtuse angles in a right triangle. It should be right triangle. So a right triangle has a right angle, meaning 90 degrees, and the two angles should be acute angle. So acute angles measure less than 90 degrees. Right angle measures exactly 90 degrees, and obtuse angles measure more than 90 degrees. All right, here's our question number 21. But before that, I'm going to remind you again about the attendance verification code. Take note of this code if you want to get your certificate. It's CL722. Again, the code is CL722. Make sure you type it correctly when submitting your attendance verification form. Again, all certificates are posted at Celzo Academy FB page. I don't email them to people, so make sure you like and follow our Celzo Academy FB page so you get some updates when certificates are available. Also, if you're new to this webinar, I encourage you to join Global Educators Group for teachers and also the Celzo Academy Review Group. So please join those. Are you ready for the next question? Question number 21. This question now involves quadratic equations, so it's getting more difficult at this time. Thank you for your comment, Emma Apostol. Sergani, it is a very nice webinar. It reminds me that math is my favorite subject when I am in high school. Are you a math teacher, Emma Apostol? Are you a teacher? All right, the answer to this question is Let's see. The first person who got it right is Imelda Castro, Hainesh Arumpak, Lenilyn Escalona, Marianne Hinautan, and Merlin Aguined. The answer is letter D. So the first step for this question is to reduce it, meaning you can divide both sides by 3 first. So when you divide both sides by 3, 24 divided by 3 is 8, and the 3 here on the right side will cancel out. So now you have 8x squared is equal to 43x minus 15. And then we're going to write it in standard form, meaning right side becomes 0. So when you transfer 43x and negative 15 to the other side, make sure you change the sign, okay? And then in this quadratic equation, make sure you know how to factor. And the correct factor for this will be 8x minus 3 and x minus 5. If you want to learn more about factoring quadratic functions or quadratic equations, different types of polynomials, I also have some videos regarding those topics. So make sure you subscribe to my channel at Celzo Academy if you haven't subscribed yet. And once you factor out the quadratic equation, we need to use the zero product property. Basically, it means you need to set up each factor equal to 0. So you have 8x minus 3 equals 0, and x minus 5 equals 0. So now you have linear equations. And then just by doing the inverse operations, you add 3 to both sides, divide by 8, and then the other one, you add 5 to both sides, that give you 5. So the answer to this question is 3/8 and 5. So those are the values for x. Again, for question number 20, the answer is letter D, 3/8 and 5. Question number 22. This is now a trigonometry question, so you may need a calculator to solve this problem. Thank you for your comment, Amorfina Bawalan. This webinar is a very good training ground as we are about to have our online classes here in the Philippines. I will try to imitate how you discuss and encourage everyone to participate. Thank you, Sergani. Thank you for your feedback, Amorfina. From Eleanor Batukan, math is not my favorite subject when I am in high school, but I choose it as my major because of my scholarship. I started loving math when I teach trigonometry to my college students. Great to hear from you, Eleanor. And you actually learn more about math when you start teaching the topic, because you cannot teach it if you don't know it well, right? All right, question number 22. Type your answers in the comment section. I hope we have math people in here who can answer question number 22. All right. The first person who got it right is Joy Elizabeth Ventura, followed by Jomar Mandani, Rainiel Iyana, Virinia Juanara May. Those are the first few people who got it right. So when answering question number 2, make sure you know how to set up the equation first, or draw the equation first, draw the diagram first. So in this problem, we have 20 feet beam leans against the wall, which is 13.9 feet. And it's asking for the measure of the angle formed by the beam and the ground. That's why we're solving for the x. So in reference to the angle x here that we're trying to solve, 13.9 feet is the opposite, and 20 feet is the hypotenuse. So if you have opposite and hypotenuse, that means that we need to use the sine trigonometric function. And sine is opposite divided by adjacent. Sorry, sine should be opposite divide by hypotenuse. Okay, adjacent is incorrect in here. Sine is opposite, divide by hypotenuse. So that is 13.9 divided by 20. Now, you're solving for the angle. So solving for the angle, that means we need to use the arcsine function. So on your calculator, make sure you press second F or shift and then sine. So arcsine of 13.9 over 20 is equal to 44.03. So that's 44 degrees. Again, I just want to emphasize here, it's a typo. Sine function is opposite divided by hypotenuse. Opposite over adjacent is tangent. Cosine over hypotenuse is adjacent over hypotenuse is cosine. You can also use the SOHCAHTOA. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent is opposite over adjacent. So the answer is letter A. Question number 23. The lines y equals 2x and 2y equals negative x are parallel, perpendicular, horizontal, or vertical. Please start typing your answers. Yes, it's SOHCAHTOA. All right, question number 23. The first person who got it right is again Maria De Souza, letter B, followed by Julius Garzon, Jolly Cardozo, Jomar Mandani, and teacher Flor Sedino. So here the answer is perpendicular. So when we say perpendicular lines, that means the slopes are opposite reciprocals, or some say negative reciprocals. When we say parallel lines, the slopes are the same. Well, for question number 23, we can eliminate choices C and D right away because for that to be horizontal and vertical, it has to be just the constant. So the lines cannot be horizontal or vertical. So for the first equation, the slope is 2. And the second, we need to write it in the form y is equal to mx plus b. So the slope is negative 1/2. So the slopes are positive 2 and negative 1/2. They're not the same, but they are opposite reciprocals or perpendicular. So letter B. Question number 24. Yes, firstly, Mariano, you may share this video to your classes, even to your school. I highly, and also please encourage your students and math teachers to subscribe as well for the latest videos. I'm going to be creating more math content from basic math to pre-calculus in preparation for your math classes this August 24th. All right. Question number 24 should be easy, but it can be confusing as well. So for question number 24, the price is no less than $100. So the first person who got it right is Heinisch Arumpak, Maria De Souza, Heinisch Arumpak, first person, teacher Flor Sedino, followed by Monu Kumar. So when we say the price is no less than 100, that means we're talking about equal to 100 or greater than 100. So it can be 100 or more. So 100 or more, that's why the answer is letter B. Question number 25. Which of these points does not lie on the graph of y is equal to negative x plus 3. All right. Question number 25. The first person who got it right is, please type your answers. The first person who got it right is Eleanor Batukan, letter D, followed by Donna Lumboy and Gregoria Bondo. So when solving this problem, all you need to do is substitution method. So you need to substitute the ordered pairs 9, -6, and so on, and see which one will work. So the first number is your x, and the second number is your y value. So if you plug in x is 2 and y is 2 into the equation, that's the only one that will not work. Again, when you plug in x is 2 and y is 2 to the equation, that's the only point that will not satisfy the equation. So that means the point does not lie on the graph. So when you graph the line y equals negative x plus 3, these 3 points A, B, and C will be on the line, but point D is outside the line. Okay? All right, question number 26. I hope you still continue to join these math review sessions. We have 5 more questions left. Question number 26. Which of these relations does not represent a function? Which of these relations does not represent a function? Okay, please type your answers. All right, I think the first person who got it right is Jomar Mandani, letter C, Leia Sagun, letter C, and Julius Garzon. So if you look at the choices, letter C has the point 2, 3, and 2, 7, meaning that the x value 2 is paired up twice to 3 and 7. That makes it not a function. Other way to determine whether it's a function or not is by using the vertical line test. So if you graph the points 2, 3, -5, 3, and 2, 7, those points will not be a function because it will fail the vertical line test. The vertical line will pass through 2 or more points for letter C. That is why it is not a function. Okay, so that's a function given the ordered pair. Question number 27. Which property is used to write 3 times the quantity x over y is equal to 3x and y? So make sure you know the difference between these 4 properties: commutative property, distributive property, multiplicative inverse, and associative property of multiplication. All right, type your answers. The first person who got it right is Ems Chris, followed by Maria Zosa and Mission WR. So the answer to this question is associative property of multiplication. So these are the different properties. When we talk about commutative property is changing the order of the terms. So it's not commutative. Multiplicative inverse is basically if you have A, the inverse of multiplicative inverse for that is 1 over A, or the same thing as the reciprocal. And distributive property is similar to like 2 times the quantity x plus y. Then you need to do the arrow, or that's the same thing as the distributive property. So associative property is basically changing the grouping of the terms. Again, associative property means you're changing the grouping symbol, but the order remains the same. So if you notice 3xy are in the same order. It's just the grouping symbol location is changed. That's associative. Commutative is when you're changing the order of the terms. And I think everyone knows about the distributive property. Question number 28. Let's go back to algebra. Thank you for your comment, Julius Garzon. I'm super refreshed with the concepts. Thank you for the feedback. All right. I think that's easy, but be careful with the inequality sign. Question number 28. The first person who got question number 28 right is Monu Kumar, letter D, followed by Estelito Harabo, Ricky Colima. So the answer to this is question number 28 is letter D. So again, we need to do the inverse operations. The first thing is to subtract 6 to both sides of the inequality. When you subtract 6 to both sides, that becomes now negative 7x is less than or equal to negative 14. Now be careful, because when you're dividing by a negative number, make sure that you switch the inequality symbol. So when you're dividing by negative 7, that becomes now x is greater than or equal to 2. Okay, so the answer for question number 28 is letter D. Before we continue with the last two problems, just a last reminder about the attendance verification code. It is CL722. So make sure you take note of that code if you are interested in getting your e-certificates. Certificates will be available tomorrow at 8 p.m. and it will be posted at Celzo Academy FB page. Again, certificates are available tomorrow at 8 p.m. here at Celzo Academy FB page. All right, are you ready for the last two problems? Here we go. Here's our question number 29, involving absolute value equations. Just a hint, absolute value can be 0 or positive, but absolute value cannot be negative. All right, please type your answers in the comment section. Okay, the first person who got it right is Monu Kumar, letter A, followed by Jomar Mandani and Marilyn S. Espina. So thank you for watching as well. All right, so the first step here is to add 3 first to both sides. You need to isolate the absolute value on the left. So the right side now is k plus 3. So I simply add 3 to both sides. So now I have absolute value of negative 2x minus 5 is equal to k plus 3. Now, just like Rob said, for that to be a no solution, the absolute value can never be negative, right? So that means that we are looking for the choices that will make k plus 3 a negative value. Because if k plus 3 is negative, then that makes it no solution. And if you plug in the choices 0, 7, negative 3, and negative 5 into the k plus 3, the only thing that will be negative is letter A, negative 5. Because negative 5 plus 3 will give you negative 2. Okay? So again, the strategy that you could do for this question is you isolate the absolute value, and then the right side is k plus 3. So the absolute value is always positive or 0. It cannot be negative. So that's why negative 5, when you plug it in, will give you a negative right side. Last problem. Here we go. Question number 30. Thank you for your comment, Merlita. Thank you so much for this webinar session. Julius Garzon, interesting analyst. Good for learners' cognitive development. All right, so for question number 30, the correct answer is letter C. Leah Sagan got it right first, followed by Jomar and Juliet Ambat, Rainiel Iana, and Rebecca Kabunkal. So thank you for participating, and you got it right. Just like what we've said in the previous questions, when we say perpendicular lines, the slopes are opposite reciprocals, meaning when you multiply them, the answer is negative 1. So if the slope is negative 5, the opposite reciprocal of negative 5 is 1/5 or 1 over 5. Okay, so again, remember the slopes of parallel lines are the same. The slopes of perpendicular lines are opposite reciprocals. Okay, so again, thank you so much for participating in our webinars. We just answered 30 questions that involves basic math to trigonometry. And also, I just want to remind you again that if you have not subscribed yet to Celzo Academy, please do so right now. You can also join the Celzo Academy Review Group to get some review materials for the CSE, LET, and licensure examination for teachers. And we also have the Global Educators Group. So please join those groups. So I hope that we met our targets for tonight. We were able to learn some strategies for the virtual learning and regular classroom setting. We also did some questions from basic math to trigonometry. So again, if you'd like to get your certificate, make sure that you complete that using the correct code. And for the future webinars, this Saturday, we have invited guests from Kazakhstan, a physics teacher, We also have English and SPED teacher from Arizona, USA. And we have an ESL teacher from China. So I hope that you join us next Saturday for this International Perspectives webinar this Saturday again. And again, if you have questions or queries, please email me at celzoacademy@gmail.com. Thank you for watching. Make sure you share this video to your students, to your teachers, so we can reach out to more viewers. It's almost 8 p.m. It's 7:51. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you join me again this Saturday. Have a great night, everyone.